Gents, I just want to pause the episode for a moment to let you know about the Strong Men of Value Academy. You will have heard me refer to it a number of times, and I want to bring more attention to it. So this isn't just a program, it's a life-changing environment and community of men who are focused on personal and professional growth. We're looking at areas of relationships, wealth, and health, things to help you thrive and maximize your life. Imagine having bi-monthly one-on-one coaching sessions with myself, weekly group coaching calls, and an incredible brotherhood of high achievers by your side. Now we're diving into resilience, leadership, and holistic growth to not just succeed in your career, but to thrive in your health and your relationships. Your journey to greatness, it starts here. So join the movement and you can apply for the Strong Men of Value Academy. You can head to themanthatcanproject.com to find out more. Welcome back to another episode of the Man That Can Project podcast. I'm your host, Stuart, and today we're doing a quick, short, sharp, rapid fire episode. I want to give as much value as possible. We're going to be talking about nothing you've ever done is wasted. And quickly before I dive into that, I want to highlight the Strong Men of Value program. If you haven't checked it out, it's helping men create strong minds and strong bodies, and it is available for men all around the world. It is a very, very impressive community. And we've just added the strong bodies part, the fitness component part, because it's a big pillar of what I do in my day-to-day life. And a lot of the blokes that I talk to often ask for that. And, now we're going to offer it there. So awesome. And remember, wherever you're tuning in from, whether you're watching me on YouTube, you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or whatever you listen to, hit follow, subscribe, or whatever the buttons say to do, please do, because this show and the Man That Can Project community doesn't grow without you. So I'm very grateful for all of your support and taking the time to help us reach new audiences and impact more men around the world. But let's do it. Nothing you've ever done is wasted. I was thinking about this recently because I know from my own experience and a lot of blokes that I work with and that are a part of our community, fear failure, fear rejection, and as a result of that, they don't take the risks that maybe they need to or they want to in order to create the life that they want. And a lot of you guys are listening to this show because you want more, right? You want improved self-awareness. You want improved self-management. You want better results, right? You want confidence. You want more money. You want more satisfaction. And the thing that is keeping us stuck is the fact that in order for us to get different results, we have to do things differently, which means as an individual, as a man, you will not be the same person you are right now when you start doing things differently to get the different results. So a lot of us have that fear of failure. And I know for myself, when I started reflecting on who I was as a person, when I started reflecting on everything that had ever happened in my life, and obviously I haven't done all of that, I don't have enough time, but significant things in my life, I've learned very powerful lessons that have helped me improve results moving forward, right? You may have heard the phrase, you either win or you learn. And it is such a powerful way to look at things. So many of us go, we either win or we suck. We either win or we fail. And because of how we're taught at school, failure is fucking bad, apparently, right? Sucking at something is bad, apparently. We need to shift our perspective on it. And the only person who can do that is you. I can sit here and talk about it all fucking day, but what I say to you doesn't really impact you unless you take it on board and unless you look to implement it, right? If not, then it's, probably not worth listening to the rest of this episode. But if you are going to take it on board, if you are going, fuck yeah, I want to change my perspective. I want to learn to embrace failure. I want to learn to embrace rejection, because on the other side of that is a whole heap of learning, is a whole heap of education, and is a whole heap of understanding that is going to enable me to create the life that I want, is going to enable me to be the man that I want to be. It's fucking ownership, guys. And we think about all these things that we allow to define us, allow to hold us back, right? Mistakes that you've made. We all make mistakes. There is no rule book, and I've spoken about this previously, there is no rule book on how to absolutely nail life. We learn how to fucking use math. We learn how to speak our native language. I'm not very good at it. Sometimes you've probably picked up. We learn all these things, right, which can help you moving forward, right? Not always, but it can. But what we don't learn is who we are as individuals. We don't learn to ask good questions. We don't learn to meditate. We don't learn to exercise. We don't learn how to really thrive. All the things, taxes, all of this sort of stuff. I didn't get taught it. I had to teach it. I had to learn it myself. I had to seek out mentors. I had to listen to podcasts. I had to do this, that, and the other. But because I have all of those experiences of going through school and understanding what it didn't teach me and also what worked well for me, what my learning style was, how I like to consume information, that time wasn't wasted. I also made great friends. I learned how to communicate. I learned so much about myself, built resilience. I made new friends, new connections. So it wasn't wasted. I learned a whole heap of life skills. And all of you gentlemen listening, whether you're 18 or you're 70 years old, if you're 70, I'd be jealous and I'd love to learn all the stuff that you have in your head because you would have a wealth of knowledge. But nothing that you've done is wasted. So what I encourage you to do, if you really want to act upon this, if you really want to make this a podcast that you go, fuck yeah, I'm not going to allow any experiences that I've had to be wasted. Think about the last time your heart was broken. How did you think, act, and behave? Why was it broken? Was there anything you could do differently next time? Most times when you're heartbroken, not really. It's just, it's an emotion and we experience it. We need to experience it. And there's no recommended healing time or process to go through it. It's just, we go through it. That's life. Right? If you ever have the last thing that you failed at that was significant, what could you do differently? Due diligence. Could you work harder? Could you work more efficiently? Could you eliminate distractions? Were you drinking on weekends? Were you feeling clouded in judgment? Were you scared? Right? There's all these things that we can start thinking about, which are going to help us understand ourselves better to create better results moving forward. I have 30 years of experience in things that you guys don't have, and you guys all have experiences in things that I don't have. And I love being able to talk about things that I have been through because I know a lot of you guys can relate to certain things and hopefully it has a positive impact on you. And I challenge you guys to do the same. But don't avoid failure or rejection because of the fear, because of the limiting beliefs that you have around it. You either win or learn, and nothing you've done is wasted. So an activity you can do. If you've got a pen and paper, if you're listening to this, maybe listen to it after because we're nearly wrapping it up. But just write down the last failure or the last bit of rejection you had and ask yourself, what were the positives from this? What can I learn from this experience? How did I respond to the rejection? What did I think about myself? Was it positive thoughts or empowering thoughts, or was it negative thoughts and disempowering thoughts? And write them both down. They're both okay because we all experience all of them. But then if you get your list of the negative things, of the disempowering things, you could say to yourself, and once again, this is the power of questions and learning to ask more questions to gain a greater understanding, because the more you understand things, right, the more you can reevaluate them, the more you can action them to improve them. But you could say, okay, from these negative emotions or these negative thoughts, what would be one thing that I may be able to focus on that would be able to fucking obliterate those negative emotions, that would be able to get me back on the front foot in a positive, empowered state quicker than before? And when I say quicker than before, you might have been down in the dumps for 3 weeks or a day or whatever, but you want to minimize that time so you can get back to being proactive, right? We want to be in momentum, gents, because that's where we feel significant. That's where we feel we're on purpose. That's where we feel we're contributing to something bigger than ourselves, which from a self-esteem perspective, we feel pretty bloody good. So take time to ask yourself better questions. Within the Strong Man of Value, we're actually talking about self-awareness this week, and we've just released a new video, and worksheet to help the men, and even you guys, if you join in there, it'll be in the video library, but to help men start improving their self-awareness and being able to put tools and strategies and ask questions to improve how you manage yourself, right? From finances to relationships to communication to health, right? You can go through and start doing this because, as I mentioned probably 5 minutes ago, you can consume as much information as you want, but it's only when you choose to action it and become or improve awareness around yourself and understand it in your own life that you're going to be able to move forward from it. So gents, that's short and sharp. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm about to head off on a Bucks party tomorrow, which is crazy. 5 days. It's going to be insane. But remember, guys, if you got value from this, please share it with a mate that you know will love it. Leave a review and just join our free Facebook group. I'd love to connect with you guys in there. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you soon, hopefully. Thank you for listening to the Man That Can Project podcast. My name is Lachlan Stuart, and I hope you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful. If you did, please take a moment to rate and review the Man That Can Project on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with our newest episodes. We'll see you again next time.